Welcome back to another episode of City Skylines 2, Palm Bay, episode 2. And where we left off, there was well, as we come back to the sim, there's a flood going on here, and this happened in my world historically. So, there used to be some housing here, and some housing here. The city is starting to yeah, there's still flooding going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until some of these services come back. And Salmon Creek got affected here. What happened was there was a massive flood coming down the creek here. So now we're going to wait until we can rebuild. And I can't really do nothing until this is rebuilt, so we're going to do that here. And there is water, however, it's still flooding, so not much to do yet. Let's just add that in there. And why not? Let's just speed that up a little bit. So the floodwaters are receding quite extensively. It's going in, that water's going in that direction. We're going to have to do some land terraforming over here. And let's see where we got, there's the village. And we're just going to create a new district here. Let's put it on there. And we'll go to the road there. To about there. And there. And there. We're going to call this the Marina District. And let's put it at the tip of that. Over like so. Boom. And we're going to rename that Marina. Capitals. Don't forget your capital letters. So, as that's going, we're actually going to... What I wanted to do is introduce the first version of the railroad. So we're going to go all the way up here to Jenner. And I picked out a lovely spot right here. So there's going to be a terminal here, lumber terminal here, and the tracks are going to come back here, across the road, and there's going to be a passenger station right here, somewhere along here. So let's find out where our trains are going to go. Yeah, eventually we're going to have a depot, so let's see. Railway depot, passenger terminal, terminus, elevated. Actually, let's start with our forestry medium, and it's going to be electrified because this railroad was electric. And we're going to put that right in here. Boom, done. Okay, next up is an we want electrified, so that's electric. And we're going to find the proper track. I'm going to use... No, I don't want to use that one. Let's use that one. We're going to have that about here. Bump that down to 0. Okay, and we're going to want to have constant slope on. So that's going to go right there. And I want that right there. Now we're going to connect these two. So this will be the main track coming out of this terminal. Have it parallel, roughly parallel. And we'll bring it in like there. And it will be on a, we want that kind of straight. Boom. Yeah, that looks nice. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, we're going to connect this in with our main line here. Boom. Done. So now we want to find the right passenger station. Yeah, see, these are all bridges here. Let's see, cargo, French. Where's that medium? Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one I like. Okay. So you're gonna go here, but in order to do that, we need to do some terraforming. So we're going to bump that up to full strength, and 50 ought to do it. So here you go. And now we can put our first train station. Oops. And I want to smooth that up as much as possible. We're probably going to have like a nice little park here with a trail coming off of here somewhere at some point. So we're going to go back to our single track two-way. Like so. And we're going to have that snake along the river there. And I want that kind of perfect. Perfect. And tie back into our rail line. So that's our first stations. What's going on here? Okay. We're going to have to do some creative editing here. Can I do that with Move It? Filters. We're going to close all those off. Let's see. Nodes, segments, net lanes. Why doesn't it like that? I wonder, is it because of the road? Control H to that height. And can we do that? Nope. So we're going to delete this here. And let's try to rebuild this as much as we can. So we're going to go back, bump that bit. We're going to get our train tool, and that will do just nicely. Wow, look at all that crap I've had to... Oh, my lord. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to draw the road. Why doesn't it like that? Yeah, that's really messy. Bump that down. And let's try that again. So, boom. And we're going to connect you. No pedestrian or car access. That's funny because everything is right here. I forget how to do this. Okay. We're going to move that and that. Move that and that. Move the road here. Let's just put this up here somewhere. Yeah, I know there's no track connection. I don't know why it's not liking this. I don't know what's going on here, so we're going to redraw this a little bit better. Okay, we're going to just select all this. I don't know what's going on here. Oh. Is that why? So let's... Okay, this is frustrating me to no end here. Okay. Why is it doing this? Okay, well, I'm going to try that again later, but I'm going to have to go because for some reason this is not cooperating like I want it to. Let's reload the game. Ugh. I wonder if maybe it doesn't like how straight that road is. Interesting. Okay, whatever. Continue, continue. We're going to go back over here, and we're going to try this from the drawing board here. Let's just bump that down over this way. Boom. Done. And constant slope is on. And let's put ground, because I do want zoning. Okay, let's put the electric line there. Okay, what's going on here? Okay. Let's bring that all... Bump that all the way here. Boom. Done. What we're going to do is grab that. Actually, that. And we're going to carve into the hillside. Right there should be fine. I want about that much space. And we're going to have that start here, all the way up here. Grab that there. And we'll just have that. We'll figure that out in a little bit. And we'll probably start it right there, and that looks like a nice transition. Okay, next we're going to go back here. And now we can go to our forestry station. Ah, it's still doing that. I wonder what's going on here. Why is there... there's clearly pedestrian access here. I don't know what's going on here. How do I get rid of this again? Let's turn off all this. Movement lanes. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That makes no sense. There we go. Okay, let's try. Let's get that out. And that out. And it's still showing up. One of the more frustrating parts of this game is that it does not want to cooperate. Okay. Well, we'll just leave that as is for now. We'll put another road back here. I do want double access to the site. Yeah, that's fine. That'll do for now. So we'll go back in here. Find our two-way connection here. And we're going to have the track, let's say right there, and snap that off. Boom. And we're going to have you come up here. And bring that in just like that. That's a nice connection there. That'll do for now. I don't know how to get rid of those weird, I don't know what's going on there, but That's what it was. Okay, well, we can fix that by putting a new pavement in. So we'll find services, concrete, pavement. Let's just do this. Right there. Right there. We're going to go all the way over here. Nice. Look at that. Wow. Okay, we're going to want to have net lanes. Let's just, let's see what we can copy on that. So, boom. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, let's try. Roadway. Where's my invisible? Would that be in parks? Pathways. Invisible. Car path. Okay. And let's see. Pedestrian. Actually, let's convert that to a that, and let's find another invisible pathway. Actually, that was terrible. Let's try that again. Oh, that's perfect. So actually, let's... Okay, let's try that again. Actually, that was pretty nice. So we'll just have that continue back in there. Nice. Look at that. Okay. We're done editing that for now. Then we'll leave that alone because that seems to have worked. Okay. Well, let's find my station again. Medium train station. And... okay, so I need that much land. Bump that back up to 100%. And let's go for 60 this time. So right there. No. We want that right there. Bump that up. And we'll just add a smidge of land right there. So that when we have our future park, actually let's bump that over just a little bit. Perfect. Look at that. So let's go back over here to our one-way. Nice. Look at that connection. Ooh. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to, from here, build a parallel bridge. And we're going to have that come out to... Okay, what's the grade on that? 0.08. I like that, but I want it to be a little more straight. .5 should be okay. No, but look at that. Okay, 180 at 3%. 2.1 should be fairly decent. Well, we'll fix that up in a little bit. Okay, so now let's reconnect. We want smooth transitions. There we go. Nice. Do I want a lift? No, I don't want any of these fancy bridges. Although... yeah, we'll leave that as is. So we're going to redraw this because I want... No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So we'll go back to you. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. Does not like that at all. I can live with that. I can live with that. Oh. So we'll turn all this crap off. Boink. There you go. That's still way too sharp for an actual railroad. So what we'll do is come like this. That's tolerable. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect. Okay, let's... We're going to have a station here somewhere, so probably where this water is draining. Can we put a station here? What kind of station can we put in here? Local train station. Yeah, it's too big. Suburban train station. Nope, too big. Medium train station. I'm waiting for that water to drain, and I kind of want that position there. And as I position that, I'm going to modify the road just slightly. I know the road's required, but we need to let that drain. Okay, so now... yeah, the water's not draining nearly fast enough. Speed that up just a little bit. As you can see, all that water is still draining into the ocean here. But I'm more concerned about what's going on here. Huh. Huh. Well, first of all, we're going to have to sever this roadway connection here just a little bit. And we're going to drag that here. We want that, actually, we want this elevated. We do want this elevated. So we're going to do this like so. And let's grab our road network here. I kind of want that to snake. And have it. Oh, that looks terrible. Ooh. That looks really bad. So we're going to bump that back down. And what we're going to do, look, now that looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, so now that is done, let's build the bridge over Salmon Creek. And we're going to have some gentle curves going in here. And off on the edge of civilization. Like so. That's actually not bad for grades here. And we'll have a bridge. 1% is not too bad. Just got to keep that in mind. But when I'm laying this down, is I want to have decent, not terribly steep grades, because my railroad, my virtual railroad, is not that steep. Whoa, 5%. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on here? Okay. 2.1% is not bad. Okay. 2.9% and let's just let's fix some of this stuff up here. That's fine. We're going to do that. Nice. And I'm going to leave the tunnel there as is. So far, we have 3 stations. Now, the next tricky bit is oh yeah. So my fish, that's going to go bye-bye. That whole building is going to go, and what we're going to do I don't know what the hell is going on when I was working on this map. But what we're going to do is some terrain sculpting here. Actually, that height is we're going to build this all up. Get rid of some of these lagoons, for lack of a better word, and we're going to just slightly, actually want that height. Nice. Get rid of some of that water. Now this little frontage road here needs some work. Okay. And old Jellum Village. So basically what's going on here is I've set this up for the new city is going to go in here. So the old Main Street here is going to tie in right there. So we kind of want to get rid of some of this dirt or water coming in here. Actually, I want Main Street to be on the south side of this here. So the Main Street will come in and tie in here. So let's grab Move It tool and raise this up just a little bit. And let's match that height. Yeah, it's still not working. Let's match that height. So let's grab all the nodes along here on Manor Street. And you know what? Manor Street will be the new Main Street. No, I don't want to shift my reasoning for this. So let's match that height. That. And you. And you. And you. And you will also match that height. That way we can get rid of some of the flooding that's going on here. And all this back here, yeah, on Fairview Street is going to go bye-bye. Because we want to have the railroad in here, nestled between Palm Bay Boulevard and what we got here, Cypress Street. Yeah, that's going to change. That's going to change. That name's going to change. So we want the railroad in here. So we're going to grab a height that I like. Probably this height. And we're going to build the rail yard. There's gonna be a small yard here, so we're gonna grab this height, cut into the hillside in this area, and we're gonna put the slope terrain tool on there and gradually build. Because I want to have a yard. Station. No, I don't like that one. Yeah, let's put that there. But I kind of want to have it offset. offset the main line there. And we'll put the double track here and take that off. Have the main line come like that. We'll have that there.
You still haven't washed shoes on it? Wash the handle first, then wash it.
So now we want to have a new train station, a local train station, but that's way not wide enough. This space is not wide enough, so Cypress, you gotta go. Cypress was really the original footpath that the natives used to use. So we're gonna put the local station here, but do I want that? What does it give me? It gives me a modern station entrance, underground subway, platforms. No, we don't want that station here. We'll get rid of that. Let's find something else a little more appropriate. Let's yeah, it's too many tracks there. Central, no. Netherlands, no, way too big, way too big. Local's too big. French. I could live with that. Let's see what it gives me. Waiting rooms. You know what? We'll live with this. We will live with this. Because then I have a bypass track right there. So then let's get the double track going on here. So this will be the main track. And then we're going to tie it back into there. Because historically in my railroad, there's a Y right here. So let's build the Y first before we can do anything else. So the Y would have come off here and come off there. And now what we can do close enough. That will work. So we still have all this going on here. But the population is exploding. Look at that. 1,600 people so far. That's fantastic. And our demand is going up. So what we want to do is turn this swamp here into something we can use. So we're going to go back in here, fill all this in. And actually, can we go? Let's see, what did I use? Did I use pine? No, I did not use pine. Was it spruce? No. Apple? No. Was it this linden? This hickory? That's the problem. I don't remember what I used. Because we got all this forest here that we aren't going to be using. Let's try birch. No. Spruce. No. Pine. No. Okay, what is this? What is oak? Of course it's oak. Okay, find oak. We're going to clear all this area out because this will be the future city of Palm Bay. But before it becomes Palm Bay, it's going to be Jellum City. Well, at least this area will be Jellum City here, and then eventually it'll become downtown Palm Bay. And we're going to get that. Why? I don't like. That's the one thing I don't like about this game is that it makes you start at 50% of everything. It's like that makes no sense. So we're going to clear out this so we can have a clean slate of what we're going to be looking at. Okay, just clear all of this out. Actually, we kind of want to go back to this road here, so we're going to clear all this out as much as I can. Because eventually our city limits will be here. This will be the dividing road, or this canyon will be a dividing road between Palm Bay and Markham. So we're going to just clean this up a little more. Because that goes over to Bodega. Actually, let's, because this will be a community park here in the future. And we'll just say that they cleared this out as a way to prevent forest fires, and we're going to have just a bunch of communities back over here. They're going to act, so we're going to leave this as a blank slate. And back in those days, when settlers were settling towns and cities in California, they would clear hundreds of acres of prime real estate to become settlements. And they use a lot of firewood, and they use a lot of lumber, so they've really clear cut a lot of California in the historical times. And I probably used way too many trees when I was making this build. I wanted to be a little more generous when I was making this. So I'm going to just clean this up more and more. All right. So now we got bare earth to work with. So now we can see what we're working with here. And as you can see, we have a lot. So at least the first couple blocks are going to be more urban. So this will become a more downtown area here. And the cemetery is going to move. Actually, let's move the cemetery over here. No, I don't like it there. I do not like it there at all. So let's move the cemetery over here to a very fitting spot. And we'll put this burial lot here. And a columbarium, but right across the street. And our capacity is now, let's see what our let's see what our info views are. So our capacity for healthcare and oh wow, look at that. We got double our population, and our population just jumped to 1900. But now we need healthcare at some point, so that's going to have to be fixed because in this flood, the entire city, which used to be here, or the entire town used to be here. So now, and that included our clinic that was in this area. So now what we have to do is, well, anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what happened was that clinic that used to be over there pushed all the services that were in the area. I think is it this one? No. No. So now everybody has to go either to Jenner or to Bodega, which I think, where is the healthcare facilities that I had here? Is it this one? Yes. So now they have to go all the way down the road up the canyon, or up this little canyon to Bodega, and we want to fix that. So Jellum Village is going to be demolished. Why is it doing that? Because I'm a dummy. And we're going to fix that. So here, that. So now all these roads are above the floodwaters. And that leaves this area to be redeveloped. And this road will become... Oh yeah, I need a... Oh, yeah. One thing at a time, gentlemen. One thing at a time. So now we're going to build this road here. And now basic service, we're going to have that come out this way. And let's have it connect right there for now. That way we can get our sewer and connections there. And let's go back to our single track here. Okay. Let's bump that up, and we can have trains coming in soon. Once we connect to our outside connection, which is still... Where is our connection? It's supposed to be here. What happened? Let's see. Go back to our double track. Maybe it's because we don't have anything connected yet. And I guess we need a cargo station. So we're going to put the cargo station down here. Well, because originally it just connected Jenner to Palm Bay and Perkins Point. So we're going to have a cargo station near the forestry service here. Let's see, can we put a forestry station here? I wish Tygon made a smaller variation of this, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm going to go back to that. Damn. Okay, let's turn all of these on. Let's see if that did anything. Damn it. Okay, we're gonna try that again. We're gonna take that height and have that all over this site here. And let's try that again. What doesn't it like now? Okay, so we're going to have that here. Unbelievable. Okay, we're going to have to work on our road. I don't want surfaces. I just want. Okay, well we're gonna leave that alone for now, because I just want to connect the railroad, and then we'll be done with this area for a minute. A lot of things to consider when you're building your railroad is where it's going to go. So I'm going to have that come off like there, and 1.2 is fine, and we're going to have that curve off and meet there. Actually, yeah, well, that'll do for now. Because eventually that cargo terminal will go away. Okay, and I had a break right there, so let's clean this up as nicely as we can. And I'm gonna stop right there, let things continue to escalate or continue, and then I will be back again. Have a good one, y'all.